Hello, you! Welcome to your Hockey Helps the Homeless volunteer orientation, debatably the most exciting thing you will set your eyes on this year. So sit back, grab a snack, and listen up. All right, let's get started with bag drop, a little luxury that makes our players feel like pros and gets you a proper workout. Our players' first touchpoint with the event is the bag drop station, where they will leave their bags to be placed in their dressing room. Please dress according to the weather, as you will be spending most of the time outside or near the front doors. Bag tags will be alphabetized by last name prior to game day. When a player arrives, a bag drop member should politely ask for the player's last name, find their bag tag, place it on the bag, and load it on the dolly for transport to the room, to be placed under the respective player's jersey, which will be already hung up. It is important not to offer to take the players' hockey sticks or goalie pads, as they are expected to walk them to their change room themselves. Lastly, make sure that all players know where the registration desk is, as this will be the next touchpoint in their game day experience. Welcome to player registration. Now remember, you are the chipper personalities and smiling faces our players will be seeing while they're still half asleep, so get some coffee in you for goodness sake. Our staff will alphabetize all participant badges by team name and place signs on the front of the tables before game day, ensuring that players know where to give their name upon arrival. Now let's go through the registration process. Step 1. Have the player scan the waiver QR code and present a green check mark to confirm they have completed the required waiver. If they cannot show you a green check mark, they must scan the QR code and complete all prompts before continuing. Step 2. Ask them for their last name and cross them off the list. The list will show team names first, followed by player names. Step 3. Find their player badge in their designated team pile. Give the player their badge and explain that their game schedule, locker room number, and all other info they need for the day is on the back. Step 4. Give the player their participant gift ticket to redeem at the participant gift table. Step 5. Double-check to see if they owe any outstanding fundraising, and if so, direct them to the designated Hockey Helps the Homeless staff member manning the penalty box table, so they can top up their balance. Next, you will also need to check if they reached a fundraising incentive, and if they did, point them to the player gifts and incentives table to collect their rewards. Speaking of player gifts and incentives, let's talk about that station while we're at it. First, welcome the participant and collect their participant gift ticket. You may then present them with their gift. You will then need to check if the player has qualified for any further incentive gifts by reaching either the $1,500 and/or $3,000 fundraising milestones. If a player has reached the $3,000 fundraising milestone, they will receive gifts for both of the fundraising milestones they've reached. Okay, now let's talk about pro registration. It's important to note that just because they're pro hockey players does not mean they are pros at signing in, so you may need to guide them through the process. First things first, welcome the pro and ask for their last name. Next, ask the pro to scan the QR code to complete the waiver. Once completed, present the pro with their VIP badge and their honorarium envelope labeled with their name. Finally, ensure that all pros sign the sponsor pennants with a Sharpie. Once completed, check their name off the sticker on the back. You are a team host, no pressure, but your role is absolutely critical in ensuring the smooth operation of game day. Your first responsibility will be to introduce yourself to your team and let them know you are there to help them throughout the day with anything they may need. After your team is on the ice for their first game, please collect all hangers from your dressing room and bring them to the volunteer information table. Immediately after Game 1, you will need to direct your entire team back to your dressing room for a short locker room talk from one of our charity partners. Once again, please consult the schedule located in your game day package for exact timing. Each team host will be allocated an envelope containing drink and lunch tickets, as well as their locker room key. Please distribute the tickets evenly to each player on your team. Throughout the day, you will have a few key responsibilities to keep in mind. Prior to each game, please give your team a 15-minute warning to ensure they are on the ice for puck drop. Always make sure at least one team host is in the surrounding area of your team and/or dressing room. Make sure your dressing room is always stocked with water. Our staff can provide refills as needed. Lastly, it is imperative that you lock the dressing room during the game and when your team is not present. Congrats! You're manning the breakfast and lunch table, which means you're the most popular volunteer at the tournament. Your first job is to help assist with the setup of the breakfast and lunch areas. Next, you'll need to ensure a clean environment for the participants who are coming to enjoy their food. Make sure that all food, napkins and utensils are stocked and replaced once depleted. Lastly, assist with the tear down and cleanup of the breakfast and lunch areas. Oh, and make sure that you help yourself to food throughout the day. And last but not least, it's time we talk about the timekeepers. Check in at the volunteer registration table and make sure to arrive 30 minutes before your first game for a quick clock tutorial by one of our staff. Ensure all games begin and end in a timely manner and that all rules and regulations are followed. Ensure the score sheets are filled out properly and always make sure to double-check you have the correct scoring. At the end of each game, hand over your score sheet to one of our designated staff members. Lastly, make sure you are consulting your schedule throughout the day. Congratulations! You are now a certified Hockey Helps the Homeless volunteer. Now get out there and enjoy the day. And remember, without people like you, our tournaments wouldn't run. So, from the very bottom of our hearts, thank you.